Hello, and welcome to the Killer Cuties podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Cassidy, and I've seen almost every horror movie out there.
And I'm KD, and before we started, I'd seen almost none of them.
So join us each week as I attempt to make a horror fan out of Katie.
As a warning, we will be discussing spoilers and some uncomfortable topics that may be in the plots, so feel free to check out the film on doesthedogdie.com first to check for any triggers before listening.
Today, we're going to be talking about the 1990 thriller film based on the Stephen King novel of the same name, Misery. Let's get spooky.
All right. Shall I kick us off with a summary?
Yeah.
Okay. Paul, who is a successful romance novelist, is on his way home from snowy Colorado when he crashes his car. He is severely injured, having dislocated his shoulder and broken both legs, but is rescued by a nurse named Annie, who brings him to her remote home. Annie says that due to the blizzard, the phone lines are disconnected and streets are closed, so Paul will need to stay with her as he recovers, and she diligently feeds and medicates him. As a thank you, Paul lets Annie read the manuscript for his new novel. Annie, Paul's self-professed biggest fan, is severely disappointed by the novel, and when she learns that the main character of the book dies, enters into a rage, admitting that Paul is her prisoner and that she will force him to rewrite the novel. Paul makes several attempts to escape the home while being forced to write, but is unsuccessful, and when Annie finds out this, she re-breaks Paul's legs to render him immobile again. Meanwhile, the local sheriff has been investigating Paul's disappearance when he discovers strange stories about Annie and her family and patients, many of whom died mysteriously under Annie's care. The sheriff visits Annie's home and discovers Paul only to be murdered by Annie, who tells Paul that they will also ultimately both die in a beautiful murder-suicide. When Paul finishes writing, he tricks Annie by setting the manuscript on fire, and when she kneels down in an attempt to save it, he hits her over the head with a typewriter. After a brief struggle, Paul is ultimately victorious and makes his escape. But months later, he is still haunted by Annie, hallucinating her as people in his day-to-day life.
I would like to formally and
Yeah, you
on
would.
the record apologize.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't know why I can't get it in my head that you don't like that. And I even more so when I realized, well, you messaged, you were like, no, look at how you were watching it. And I was like, oh my God, what have I done? Like, I didn't even think about the fact. And it's around the anniversary of when you broke your leg, and that's the reason you hate the bones breaking. So I'm really, really sorry. I don't even know what to say.
Tried to fucking traumatize me.
I'm so sorry. In my defense,
oh my God.
When we decided to do this podcast last year, I laid out our full year of movies that we were gonna watch, and we've made changes to it. We've added new movies that came out. We've kind of moved some things around to make it flow better. We've added in, someone suggested the others to us. We added that in, things like that. This one never changed. This one was on there from the beginning, and I would like to just say that when I put this on there, I knew you didn't like bones breaking, but I didn't know why, and that it was specifically a leg thing.
Ankles. It's specifically ankles.
Yeah. So that's my bad. I don't know why last week when we were like, oh, we're gonna talk about Misery, I wasn't like, hey, that's maybe a huge red flag. I should have switched it out. I should have never made you watch it, and I'm sorry.
And I didn't Does the Dog Die? I didn't Wikipedia. I didn't anything. I just wanted to go in it organically because I love Kathy Bates, and I didn't think that there would be my one fucking trigger center stage. Oh God!
You always spoil things for yourself.
But I haven't been.
I know. I'm actually really proud of you for not spoiling things for yourself.
Thank you. Yeah, no, the last few I haven't.
Yeah, I do apologize.
And I've regretted it.
Oh,
thank you.
No,
thank you
for
didn't regret it with
Get Out, right?
Well,
you just had that spoiled to you by someone else, and you were mad about it.
Yeah, you're right.
See, so it's good. It's mostly good. You know what? I'm gonna make a mental note Actually, I'm gonna make a
Thank
note
you.
in our spreadsheet that we do. Look up triggers for Bones. Tell Katie beforehand. Look at me go. Okay. And I'm just gonna put that all throughout the schedule so that I don't forget when I'm making next year's.
Thank you. Yeah, that was an incredibly traumatic scene for me. Kind of just
So
took me out of the
sorry.
movie. Totally ruined it.
Yeah.
Luckily,
Yeah.
I knew it was coming, so I was able to like
Not.
turn the volume down, look away, kind of thing. But like, the damage was done when she like put the block down.
Yeah.
That
It's gonna stay with you for a while.
yep, it's not cute.
Maybe we should just do exposure therapy and I'll just put all the leg breaks all in
No, just thinking about it.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Ugh.
Um,
But you know what else bothered me? And
anyways.
it wasn't exactly like leg breaking. Was like
Oh,
him like falling to the ground with broken legs. That bothered me too.
yeah, that's rough.
Yeah,
He struggles a lot in this movie.
he really does. And one thing I was gonna say is he like portrays pain very well. Like he looked
Yeah.
very convincingly in pain.
Yeah, he did a great job in the role. I mean, both of them did. I think both of their
Yeah.
performances were really, really fantastic. And they actually, so James Caan accepted the role after Jack Nicholson turned it down. Well, actually, a lot of people
Mhm.
turned it down. I'll go over them next.
So many people.
But Jack Nicholson passed on it after working with Stanley Kubrick on The Shining. He was like, I don't want to do a Stephen King thing again, which makes sense because
Yeah.
Stanley Kubrick seemed like a fucking nightmare of a person.
Yeah.
But it's funny because James Caan had previously turned down Jack Nicholson's role in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and that was also about like being terrorized by a nurse. So
Mm-hmm.
kind of funny. But along that line, the role of Paul was offered to all of these actors who declined: Warren Beatty, Robert De Niro, Michael Douglas, Richard Dreyfuss, Harrison Ford, Morgan Freeman, Mel Gibson, Gene Hackman, Dustin Hoffman, William Hurt twice, Kevin Kline, Al Pacino, Robert Redford, Denzel Washington, and Bruce Willis. And William Goldman, who wrote the screenplay, said that he thought they all declined because Annie Wilkes is like completely overshadows Paul, and like men just don't want to be like basically hobbled by like their female counterpart. So
Yeah.
like, shout out to James Caan for taking it anyway.
Yeah.
He did great.
Yeah, he did. Bruce Willis did get to play Paul in the Broadway adaptation that came out in 2015.
Yeah.
So at least one of those actors
Ended up,
came to their senses.
yeah, taking the role later.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think it
But
was
yeah, no,
originally it was going to be when it was like first, they were the first like thinking about taking it to Broadway. Stephen King said no because at the time they wanted Julia Roberts to play Annie, and he was like, she's like a fairy type, like she's like this little like pixie, like she's not. Annie Wilkes is
yeah.
like she's carrying men through snow.
Yeah.
She's a burly gal.
Yeah. That she would not have matched the part at all.
No, I mean she probably would have done fine, like a good job. She's Julia Roberts, but she just didn't. Yeah, I just can't see anybody but Kathy Bates.
Honestly.
She killed it.
She really
Literally.
did. um I think she was like one of the only women who were even considered for the role. And she is one of very few, if not the only women to have won an Academy Award and a Golden Globe for a horror performance,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
iconic.
Yeah, the Academy hates horror.
They really do.
And thrillers, honestly. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think only two people since her have won. Jodie Foster for Silence of the Lambs and Natalie Portman for Black Swan.
Yep. Well, and Silence of the Lambs, what's his face did too.
Oh yeah, I was talking
Best actor.
actresses.
Yeah, yeah.
For Best Actress specifically.
But even like actors, there's only been
a handful,
very
yeah.
few of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah, Anthony Hopkins for Silence of the Lambs. I think someone went for like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the main guy
Yeah.
in that. Sorry, I don't remember
Yeah.
his name. And then I think like the best supporting actress for Rosemary's Baby. I can't remember
Hmm.
the actress's name, but she won as well.
Yeah.
Hashtag justice for Toni Collette because
Seriously.
Hereditary should have been the fourth.
And the entire cast of at least both of the Jordan Peele movies that I've seen.
That's true. Those were great performances. I would have to look up like who won those years to see if they were better than Daniel
Better than
Kaluuya
Lupita
though.
Nyong'o?
Lupita Nyong'o just fucking kills it every time, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And
She's
yeah,
won
Daniel
other stuff
Kaluuya
since then,
did.
though. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's an Oscar
Yeah.
winner. As she should be. And so is Daniel
Totally.
Kaluuya, as he should be.
Yeah. But not for horror. Never for horror. Mm,
No, the Academy doesn't like horror. They have
yeah. Seriously.
what else? James Caan had to stay in bed for 15 weeks while they filmed.
No way.
That would be why I would turn down the role. That'd be awful.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if that was like really obvious going into it, though.
I mean, it'd have to be, right? You read the script, you're in bed like the entire time.
I
At
guess.
least
Yeah.
like you're not walking around, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't do a whole lot of walking, just at the end with the cane.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, does he even walk in the beginning? It kind of just like cuts to him in the car, right?
I think so. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. He's just kind of like sitting with his agent and then suddenly he's in the car. Maybe he does a few steps.
Yeah.
Speaking of steps, this has nothing to do with anything. On TikTok, there's a Shrek, but it gets 5% faster every time he takes a step. I watched the whole thing the other day. And it was like 15 minutes long. Like Shrek does not do a whole lot of walking until he suddenly does a whole lot of walking.
Yeah,
And
like
then it
him
was
and
like,
they go on the whole journey.
yeah.
It got
And
really
that's when it's
fast.
like suddenly like, and then it's the end of the movie.
The whole beginning is just like Shrek.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden
And then like,
the proclaimers start playing and you literally gets
exactly.
like 500 times faster.
Exactly. Yes. That's so funny. This movie only would have been 10% faster by the end of it.
Literally.
Yeah. He's not walking at all.
Yeah, I know like the cast and crew were even excited when he like when they got to the scene where he like picks the lock and they went out into the house for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think someone said like we had literally only moved like 4 feet, but it was exciting to be shooting in something other than the bedroom. I can just imagine the whole cast and crew is just like, yeah, let's get out of here. Let's stretch our legs. Filming in a bedroom this whole time.
Yeah. Which is funny that you mentioned that because like I thought about, remember that movie with, I think it was Ryan Reynolds, where he's just like buried alive.
Oh, the movie Buried.
Is it called Buried?
It's called Buried.
And the whole movie is him in this coffin.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Oh, the whole movie is him in a coffin.
Yeah, but doesn't
The
it do
entire
like
movie.
flashbacks and stuff of like,
I don't think so.
oh, okay, never mind then. I was wrong.
But that's what it reminded me of. Is like, oh my God, this poor guy is stuck in this little tiny area and
yeah,
brutal.
there's like, we're gonna have to do like a listicle movies that just take place in one in one place.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's probably a
Poor
lot.
guy. Yeah, I bet there are.
Saw.
Yeah, Saw is a good one. Yeah.
The
Saw's just
Menu.
that one little room. Well, that's a stretch.
It's just on a little island.
Yeah, but they like go to different rooms in the island.
If Annie's allowed to go to town, they're allowed to go to the different rooms in the island.
I guess. But Saw is very
Saw
kinda
they
just
show other places though.
I guess.
The Descent. It's in that
That's
cave.
well, but it's a lot of cave.
Yeah, but they used one set
True.
to be the whole cave.
True.
Ooh, there's more, but I won't spoil them. Now I'm just thinking of all of them.
Buried Alive, I'm pretty sure it's just
Just
him
him
in
in
the
the
box.
like
People ate that
phone
shit up
booth.
too.
Oh, of course they did. People love
Mhm.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. Yeah. I like his
Um,
wife.
who's Blake Lively. I just forgot for a second. I was like, I know that's a famous couple, but I can't remember Serena Vanderwood's in for some reason. What else? Back to this film,
Yeah.
Misery, which was miserable for you. Um,
So miserable. Oh my god. It was awful.
yeah, sorry about that.
That's
Based
okay.
on Stephen King though, and
Indeed.
there's some differences in the novel than the movie. Might have made it better for you because instead of hobbling him, she just chops off one of his legs with an axe.
Oh,
They thought that would be too gory, so they hobbled him instead.
I
Which,
would 1000% have preferred her to cut off his
yeah,
leg.
honestly, I almost think I would have too. At least
Yeah.
that's like a clean. Although with an axe, I don't know how clean that would be. Might take a few chops. Still, the hobbling it's quite a scene.
Yikes. Yeah, that'll live with me for a long time.
Yeah, so
I
that's
would much
different.
rather. I could have watched him get his leg chopped off and been fine a minute later.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, she also.
along that note,
Oh,
oh
sorry. Go
no,
ahead.
no, oh, thank you. Along that note,
Yeah.
it's literally based on Stephen King,
Yeah.
supposedly. That his struggle with addiction, and that was another thing they took out of the book is that Paul
Yeah.
is like severely addicted to drugs, and then once he's under Annie's care, he was clean, but he comes in, and once he's under Annie's care, he gets addicted again, and like relies on Annie to kind of feed that addiction.
Yeah.
Supposedly there's like parallels between like Annie is the addiction and like she's like feeding it and like
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so Stephen King was literally like yes, this is a Stephen King, but it also is Stephen King.
Yeah. And I don't think he like really said that for a long time after it came out because he was still like not really wanting to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
And so finally he kind of came out and said, yeah, it's like based on my own struggles with addiction.
Yeah, and she is
Yeah.
the personification of the addiction, like holding him prisoner,
Right.
cutting him off from the world.
Yeah. And yeah, they pretty much cut all of that out of the movie.
Yeah.
Like she's giving him pain meds, but he just saves them to try to kill her. So it's like
Yeah.
not yeah, they cut that out. She cuts off one of his thumbs in the book.
Ew.
Um and also in the movie they talk about how like when she was a nurse, like infants were dying under her care,
Yeah.
hinting at her being the cause of that. In the
Mm-hmm.
book, she does that, but then she also is like a serial killer. Like she's killed a neighboring family, she killed her own dad, and her roommate. Like she just killed like a bunch of
Oh,
people.
they mentioned that in the movie.
Do they? I thought they only mentioned the hospital issues.
No. In the book, the memory book, it talks about how like her dad fell off a cliff and that one of her classmates died, and then she
Oh.
was. It was
Yeah,
all
yeah, yeah,
so.
yeah.
She is
Yeah.
definitely a Slytherin
Oh,
because she will do whatever she wants to succeed, whatever she needs to do to succeed. She's very cunning and like dependent on.
millennial bullshit. Are you pulling on me
Uh,
right now?
oh, sorry.
Don't
It's.
ever mention Harry Potter to me.
Oh my god. Um. Anyway, it's very clear that like she's being overshadowed by her dad, offs him. She's being overshadowed by her classmate,
Okay.
offs her, and then she gets it, and she's like
How do I not remember
the
that? I
like her
just watched
boss,
it.
offs her. I know you literally just watched it.
I just watched it. I don't remember them doing that. I feel
I mean,
like,
they
yeah,
don't
I don't
say it
know.
out loud. They don't say it, so you would have had to have been really paying attention, like reading what the articles are saying.
Yeah,
But like it was very clear that she was clearing a path for her to be like great,
got it.
which she is also doing with Paul. She tells the sheriff that, you know, oh yeah, Paul died and like I'm his successor. God told me I'm
Yeah.
going to write this novel and here's this novel that I wrote and like was
But I
so
think that
she just
was
clears the
her.
path.
I don't think that was her plan of like, oh, I'm gonna like steal this. I think that was her cover story because she knew it was her way of explaining why she bought those things when it's like out of character for her to do so. Because that's like why he was coming. So that's how I interpreted that was like she
Okay.
was explaining away her behavior that she knew he was coming to get answers for.
Yeah. That's fair.
But yeah, I don't know. I know like the writer and I think Kathy Bates like talked about her character like off screen to like give her like kind of reasons as to why she is the way that she is.
Mm-hmm.
And their idea was that her dad had molested her. And that's why she killed him. All
I mean,
just
I don't blame
dark.
her.
Yeah, honestly, that one justified.
Yeah. What about all the other people, though?
Yeah, then she just started killing everybody.
Yeah. Also, there was one of the pages in the memory book or whatever
hmm
was an article about a baby that died.
Yeah.
And it had in like really cute, like baby shower lettering, another baby. Like,
Yeah, I do remember that.
what?
Yeah.
Eerie.
Oh, and then in the book too, she kills a state trooper by running him over with a lawnmower. Like a riding lawnmower. She just like runs him over.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and Kathy Bates was apparently like really sad that that wasn't in the movie. And
Yeah.
Rob Reiner had cut it because he said he thought people would laugh at it. Who would be laughing at that?
I
I'm
mean, there
telling you
were
right now,
definitely.
no, I've seen that in a horror movie and I was not laughing. So
Oh my God.
we'll get to that one eventually. But
I think I watched an extended edition, by the way.
oh, really?
I think so.
Oh, what
It
happened?
was like almost 2 hours. But I mean, I don't know because I've never seen the standard.
Oh, what
So that I
made you
guess,
think that it was extended?
well, because the site that I watched it on said extended.
Oh,
Oh,
I watched it on Max, so I don't know.
I didn't even know it was on Max.
HBO. It was on Max.
Ah,
Actually, quite a few of Stephen King's are on Max.
how many minutes was it?
I think it was like an
Hello.
hour 40 something. Hour 50?
Let me see how long mine was. Oh, hour 47.
Oh yeah, I think
Maybe not.
that's
I think I lied.
I think the website lied to you.
Yeah. The website, if anybody's wondering,
Oh,
is called, should I not say? I'm going to say anyway. It's called Effed Up Movies.
what .com?
What? Yeah, .com.
I've never
Yep,
even heard of that.
effedupmovies.com.
I don't know. I'll have to look up afterwards if we should cut that out.
I mean, it doesn't look like a naughty site. There's not like a lot of ads or anything.
Oh, they never do.
Yeah. No, they never do. That's how they get you.
Yep.
Next thing you know, the FBI is coming knocking.
Did you get in trouble if you didn't know?
I don't know. But here's my testimony. Submitted as evidence.
There you go.
Your Honor, I didn't know.
It's on video.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
What else? Oh, they molded his fake legs out of gelatin. And then they put like little like motors with wires in it so that they would move when they got hit. You didn't watch the scene, but it shows.
Don't.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
I can't.
But
Thank
yeah,
God
and
I
then they
didn't
just
watch.
like
Oh my God.
yeah, it would have been really. I'm glad that you looked away. You would have been much more mad at me than you are.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
thank
they
God
just
she explained what she was going to do.
yeah, there was plenty of lead up to what was gonna happen.
Yeah. There's a scene, like thinking about the scene is going to make me uncomfortable. There's a scene in the new Lord of the Rings show.
Oh.
No prior warning is given. I mean, you know something's going to happen,
But
but you don't know that's going to fucking happen. Oh my God. I literally like puked in my mouth. I had to sit up and Dylan like slammed the laptop shut and like came over and like grabbed me from behind and is like rubbing my back, and I'm just doing that like I just kept doing like the deep like I'm gonna throw up cough.
Oh no.
Like a half an hour, we just sat there in like the dark bedroom on the side of the bed. I was just every once in a while. It was really bad. So I can only imagine this would have
Yeah.
we would not be here today.
Yeah. Podcast over.
Yeah, never again. I'll never trust you ever again in my whole life.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you should be.
I really am. Yeah. Then they just cut holes in the mattress so he could put his legs in there. The fake legs.
So he had to lay there with his legs bent for like 16 weeks?
No. Because that happens at the end.
Oh, so it's just that one scene. It's
Yeah.
not, well, his legs are like very clearly deformed every time you see them.
Yeah. Which I think they did with like, I don't know how they did that at the end. But like, yeah, when it's like at the beginning, they just use special effects to make his legs look like bruised and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So those are his legs.
That was when I messaged you. I think I'm about done with this film.
Just when you saw his legs
at the
after
beginning.
The crash.
Yeah. Because I was waiting for you to be like, well, what part are you at? And I'm like, the beginning.
I didn't see the messages until I responded.
Yeah, 11:50 a.m. I'm about done with this film. 1:02 p.m. An hour and 10 minutes later. No. 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 Capital. No. 2 capital. No. No. Followed by several messages of you apologizing.
Yeah, I felt really bad.
I'm glad you did.
You know, it's like, it doesn't. Honestly, this scene kind of does bother me. It's like, it's pretty fucked up. But like, it's not something that like sticks with me or like that. I did not have I've never broken a bone. So like, it doesn't have that impact on me.
Yeah.
And so I don't think about it, right? Like, it doesn't trigger as like a trigger for me. So I'm just like, oh yeah, like this movie's like crazy. Let's watch it. It's a classic. And then as soon as I saw the messages, I realized what I had done. And by then it was too late.
Far too late. Anyway.
Yeah.
Lots of trauma today.
Yeah, it's been a rough one.
Yeah.
You know what, though? I think this movie proves that people who don't swear are scarier than people who do. Because her not swearing and saying like, what did she even say? Like,
what was she saying when she was doing
the
curtains?
I don't even know.
Yeah, like fucking Flanders.
Yeah. She literally was Ned Flandersing all over the place. And I hated it. I didn't like that at all. I think that makes you way weirder.
Yeah.
Just say
I'll be gosh darned.
Yeah. Good golly.
Yeah. But to be clear, it's funny and endearing in The Good Place. But in this movie, it is unsettling and uncomfortable.
It's because it's different. They're trying to swear.
Yeah.
They can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why it's funny.
True.
Yeah. Well, how scary did you think it was?
1.
Oh, okay.
Not scary at all. She doesn't scare me.
Oh.
I could take Kathy Bates in a fight.
You couldn't even watch part of it, but it wasn't scary.
Well, we're not at the right category.
It's your literal biggest fear. It's not scary.
It's not my biggest fear. It's my biggest trauma.
That's fair. Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Which is why I will be commenting in the fucked up category. How scary did you think it was?
Oh, 1.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely more of a thriller feel. Like, I think the book is more horror and this one's kind of more thriller.
Totally.
So yeah, it's not really scary to me. But.
Yeah. How sexy did you think it was?
Give it a 1.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it's not. No.
No. I also gave it a 1. And what I'm
Yeah.
about to say has nothing to do with this category, but I
Okay.
kind of wish that the pig was in it more. Pig was the star of the show. That has,
Thank you for clarifying, first of all.
you're welcome.
Because we do know you're bordering on furry behavior lately, but
Oh, that was one. That was okay. Josh Hutcherson was in the movie. What else am I supposed to do?
you, you know it was more than Josh.
And Matt Lillard.
Sure.
And Foxy.
Anyways, yes. Yeah, there it is. Misery the Pig was definitely the star. I do like Misery. Yeah, I like the pig.
Yeah, some comic relief, some cuteness.
Yeah.
Speaking of comic relief, the sheriff and the deputy, his wife.
Yeah.
Loved her.
Oh yeah, she was great.
Yeah. He's probably out cheating someone and hands the phone to him. Wants to know who you're cheating with.
Yeah, she was
That was funny. Yeah, I liked her. I'm sad though that her husband died. Oh, sad.
Yeah. Poor guy.
Anyway. Yeah.
How fucked up did you think it was?
It was pretty fucked up. But I mean, personally, it's about as fucked up as you can fucking get. It's like a 5, but I don't want to like skew the rating.
Got it.
So like compared to other movies and like trying desperately to remove my own personal PTSD from the equation, I'd give it a 2.
Okay. You don't have to. You can include some of your personal. I mean, that's what makes things fucked up is that they hit home.
Yeah. Then split the difference and give it like a 3.5.
Okay. I mean, you can rate it whatever you want. I'm just telling you, like, I think part of like what can make something fucked up is your personal experiences with things.
Yeah. Okay, fine. I'll give it a 3.
There you go.
3.
Yeah.
From the heart.
I like that. Yeah.
Because I mean, she killed babies.
Yeah.
Not ideal.
Yeah.
Another thing. What'd you give it?
I give it a 1.5, but that's because it doesn't, it is for that scene though. Like it's not fun to watch. It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Even for someone who doesn't have the trauma that goes with it. So
yeah,
I think that scene is fucked up. Everything else kind of run of the mill horror, but that scene it's a lot.
Yeah.
Overall,
I was gonna ask you first.
Oh, you want me to go first?
Kinda.
Okay. Why? Are you gonna change your answer?
No. I have an answer in my heart. I'll write it down.
Okay.
I wrote it down.
Have to. I believe you. I trust you. I gave it a 3.5.
What did I give it?
Wait. You gave it a
3.5!
We're so in sync lately.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
I do want to justify it though, because I do think this is a fantastic film. I think Kathy Bates gives an incredible performance. And if I was being like a real critic, like an actual movie critic, it would probably be higher. It would probably be like a 4 or a 4.5 even. Like, I do think that this is a very well-made film. It's very well written. It's very well acted. Like, it's a great film. But in my heart of hearts, it's just not, it's a fine film.
Totally.
So for me, it's a 3.5. But if I was being like an actual critic, I would probably rate it higher. But I have to include my own personal, feelings about it.
Yeah. And I have a very similar feeling to that, is that like it was a very good movie. I loved Kathy Bates. I loved that like there was little things to pick up on throughout the entire movie that I did pick up on.
Yeah.
That's always fun for me when I'm not an idiot. but I docked it almost a full point because I could never watch it again. I just can't. Like, but that's just a personal thing. So maybe
Yeah.
I should have given it higher, but
No, but
I
hey,
can't,
we're
I could
both rating
never.
it from our hearts instead of being
Yeah.
critics. So I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah. I highly recommend everyone to watch this movie
Yeah.
because I really did enjoy everything except that one part. And like I literally guessed last week that this is not a classic. It is an absolutely iconic. Like it's one of like 5 movies that have won awards. It's so good
Yeah.
in the genre.
It was really hard for me to not laugh when you were saying like, "Oh, it's definitely not a classic."
Yeah, it's like a 2.5.
It is absolutely a classic. I am glad though that like that scene didn't impact your rating too much. I still
Yeah.
feel Taylor Pearl. I'll feel this is gonna be one of those things I think about when I go to bed at night where I'm like, wow, you're a fucking moron. But it's fine. This will be my trauma. You know?
Oh my god. No, you don't have to think that.
When a
Well, maybe a little.
friend betrays their friend in a movie, I'm gonna get PTSD.
Oh my god, remember that one time I made Katie watch Misery?
It is. Wake up in a
That's
cold
so fucking
sweat.
funny. Oh my god. That's so funny. Uh,
Would you survive?
yeah. Because even I fucking know. I live in the middle of Phoenix. I've never once driven in snow. I've never
Yeah.
even seen snow.
Well,
I mean, I've seen snow, but
in Colorado, it's kind of hard. In some areas, it's hard not to drive in snow, period.
well, no. What I was gonna say is I've never driven in snow, but even I know not to fucking brake when you're hydroplaning or on ice.
Yeah.
Even I know that, so I'm not breaking. I'm not falling off the cliff. I'm not getting captured by Annie. I'm living. Boom.
If you got captured by Annie, would you live?
No, I'm kind of a moron. I wouldn't know how to kill her.
You are so smart. Stop.
Oh, thank you. Would you survive?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I don't know. I'm gonna put myself. I got captured, but
Okay.
I think like I've watched enough Criminal Minds and fucking true crime stories that I would hope that I have the survival instincts to just like you just have to go along with their delusion until you're able to like fight back. And he
Yeah.
was almost there. Like he was like almost healed, like could have been up walking around and he fucked up because he kept going out and knocked over little fucking penguins and shit and not playing along and I wouldn't have done that because I'm smarter and I'm better.
Yeah.
And I would have just played into her little fucking thing and then I would have beat the shit out of her.
I mean that's what he did. Ultimately.
Yeah, but I would have done it better. I wouldn't have gotten hobbled because I think if I got hobbled, I'm done.
Stop talking about
I'm
it.
sorry. I'm
Can
sorry.
we move on?
If that had happened to me, that's when I would give up. So
Yeah.
I think that would not have happened. I just would never let that happen. I'm not victim blaming, but I'm better. I wouldn't let that happen.
Oh my god. Well, good.
Look at us go. Beat
Yeah.
Annie Wilkes.
Which is a whole never mind. I'll tell you after.
Oh. Secrets.
Super secrets.
Ooh. Become a member of our Patreon to find out the secret. I'm kidding.
Fuck, now we gotta launch a Patreon.
I know, fuck. I'm kidding. We don't even have a Patreon. Okay, are you ready to predict next week's movie?
Yeah.
Okay, it's called When Evil Lurks.
Okay. Okay.
Evil's gonna be lurking. You better believe
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's just when. We don't know. We're gonna find out.
True.
Okay, so
Everybody's
I'm doing
coughing.
the puke cough.
Oh no.
I'm doing the puke cough.
God, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Um. What's it called? When evil lurks?
Yeah, it
Lurks.
lurks.
Okay. I thought it was rises for a second, but that's a
No.
different. Okay. So When Evil Lurks is
Mhm.
about a man
Yeah.
and his son
Yep.
who are in a hotel
Great.
that is haunted.
Uh-oh.
And the hotel's in San Francisco,
Yeah.
specifically.
Mhm.
And there's a scene where they're in an elevator and they're going up in the elevator, and you know how sometimes you can like still see outside of the elevator?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's a body and it's like yeah, so that's a really scary scene in the movie.
It is, yeah.
Um
I've seen it,
and
so
then
I
they
know.
get to their room
Mhm.
and the dad's like, "Oh, that was kind of creepy. Maybe we shouldn't stay here, but it's fine." And
Yeah,
the kid's just little, so he doesn't understand.
right.
And then the in the night things start like bumping, you know,
Oh, of course, as they do.
as they do. So there's a scene where something like falls in the bathroom and the kid gets up and he goes to like see it
Oh god.
and he dies. And then the dad,
The child.
I know.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And then the dad has to go and find the evil lurking that killed his son. And at this point, the power's out in the hotel and he realizes that there aren't any other guests there.
Yeah.
Not a single other guest.
No.
So he was lured there by the evil that lurks. When the evil lurks is when you go to that hotel.
It
Based on a
lurks
true
when
story.
you oh. You had me. It's sorry.
Sorry.
Great.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch it.
Thank you. Was I close?
No.
Not even a little?
There
there a
is a
father,
guy
son?
and a son, yeah. That
Oh,
is
cool.
a
Okay.
thing.
Did they go to a hotel?
No. It takes place in Argentina. It's
Is
Spanish.
the evil a ghost? Is it supernatural?
Yeah.
I'm imagining the
it
evil
is
as like a
supernatural.
flowy black cloud
No.
monster.
No.
Okay.
But it is supernatural. I'll give you that.
Okay.
And there is a dad and a son. So there's that.
Are they on a boat?
No.
Oh, darn.
No. They're in like a town.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it foreign?
Yeah, it's a Spanish language film.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do love a foreign film, and I love it when it's a language I understand.
There you go. Brush up on your Espanol.
See. Cool.
I'm really trying to think if there's any scenes where someone breaks a bone. Don't do this again.
Wait, where someone what?
Breaks a bone. I'm like, wait,
Oh.
hold on. Is there anything I need to warn
God.
you about?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'll look up that trigger warning and let you know.
Thank you.
Not
Just
that
a
I remember,
reminder.
but I don't remember sometimes. It's
No, yeah.
So,
Don't know how you could forget this one, but whatever.
Yeah, this one I just wasn't thinking at all. Mind blank. Nothing going on behind these eyes, let me tell you what.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, until next week.
Until next week.
Bye. All right. Well, that wraps it up for today. If there are any movies you'd like to hear us talk about or you'd like to traumatize me with, please let us know in the comments or shoot us a DM on our socials at Killer Cuties Podcast.
Thanks so much for listening. Next week, we're going to be talking about the 2023 Argentinian film, When Evil Lurks. We hope to see you then. Bye.